Okay, everyone. Gary, Felipe, I just got off the phone with some members over at Audi to see what can be done with the engine. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is they can bring us 2 upgrades to the engine. The bad news is it won't be ready until Monza, so we will have to get through Australia this weekend. Do what you guys can and give it your all.
And with that, you hear the news that Audi will be bringing an upgrade, but it won't be for this weekend in Australia. It will be for next weekend in Monza. Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our F123 Driver Career Mode, where we have been getting stomped into the ground the last few episodes by the McLaren Toyota team. So today expecting to maybe be in a similar situation, but never say never. We'll just wait and see what happens. Now, at the time of making this video, I am slightly coming under the weather a little bit, so if you see an absence of videos this week, you know exactly what happened. I'm down and out and dying, and I'll be back as soon as possible. I'll leave a pinned comment in the comments as an update, as this video I don't think will be going live until Tuesday afternoon. I'm making this Monday afternoon, but here we are in Melbourne, a track that always really hasn't treated us the greatest. We have had some struggles here in the past, but we have had some successes, of course, as well. But we have actually yet to win an Australian Grand Prix. One of the tracks that I've kind of got circled on the calendar that I want to find victory in, and hopefully this could be the day, but I am not very optimistic. I expect McLaren to be just as fast as they've been the last couple of episodes now, and especially last episode we saw them just absolutely flying. We just don't quite have enough for them right now, but we got the good news from Audi that we will be getting 2 upgrades to our engine going into the next episode. So it's kind of like a waiting game here. So we're going to have 6 Grand Prix left on the season following today. That's where we're going to have to do the damage. 6 Grand Prix to do the work now. So today is all about kind of limiting the damage. We get through in Q1 while Schumacher, Lawson, Vesti, Maloney, Sonoda all out in this first session of qualifying here, and we would focus in on Q2. My first lap in Q2 would actually get ruined right here behind the Trackhouse driver of Calimere, so we would have to focus in and hopefully put up a second lap on the board that would be quicker. So coming through that same corner where we just had issues, we find a good half second immediately, so I was feeling pretty confident throughout the rest of the lap, and overall it'll be 2.2 seconds gained because I cruised around for the rest of that first lap, and we will get through into Q3. As you can see, P8 while Dragovic barely in P10. Vips in the Ferrari is out. Lamborghini and Lando Norris knocked him out, doing Chadwick, Sato, and Piastri all out as well. So now through into the final session of qualifying, Aiden Jackson goes top of the board now as we're going to come through to cross the stripe. Our first lap, P6, it wasn't a great lap, and by the end of the session I was down to P9, our teammate of Dragovic in P2. So we go out for another lap, seeing what kind of improvements we can find here, and on average we've been kind of qualifying around that 3rd to 4th row this season. That's kind of been what we expect here lately, and our qualifying pace has certainly improved, and we'd like to do that again here today in Australia. Now here from this Melbourne Albert Park circuit, and 0.4 of a second gain, nearly half a second through the penultimate corner there, losing a little bit of time through the final turn, gaining a little bit of it back. It's going to be about 4.5 tenths, nearly half a second to the line. We are going to go from P10 to row number 3, P6. Leclerc on pole over Dragovic, Russell, Gasly, Albon. How about Aiden Jackson behind us in P7? A bit of a fumble there from the McLaren driver, giving us a bit of hope going into the Grand Prix. And as well this weekend, we did have Formula 2 in the Australia Melbourne circuit as well. And unfortunately, we didn't have the greatest day with our drivers. Actually, both of them with mechanical failures at the bottom of the grid. So pretty bad, 19th and 20th. It's not been an easy ride so far, and Kimi Antonelli again continues his dominance at the top of the board. Bianca Bustamante with another top 5 solid effort from her, and you can see the rest of the order leading down to, of course, our 2 cars out of the race. Now, however, let's focus in on Formula 1.
Well, this might not be the season opener anymore, but it's no less an event. So welcome to Albert Park for the Australian Grand Prix. Before Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Felipe Drugovich completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Gasly, Albon, Golden Boy, Jackson, Mayer, Russell, Norris, Behrman, Yuri Vips, Chadwick, Doohan, Sato, Oscar Piastri, Mick Schumacher, Liam Lawson, Vesti, Maloney, and Yuki Tsunoda. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
Starting from pole today, Charles, what do you expect today?
Hopefully another win. We'll stay on top of things, hopefully, and be ready for anything.
All right, good luck.
So we're going to be doing mediums to hards here today in Albert Park. Pretty straightforward, looking like the one stop again going to be the quicker option as we're ready to roll.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway here in Australia. The atmosphere around the circuit is electric, and the crowd are hoping for an exciting race from the drivers today.
We see 4 drivers starting on softs: Yuri Vips, Jimmy Chadwick, as well as Mick Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda here as we get ready to take the grid.
So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right and which ones have got it horribly wrong?
All right, mate, get a good start and we'll go from there.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we'll have some pace today, but I mean, only time's going to tell on that one.
We know those upgrades are on the way, so just do what you can today. Good luck.
There you hear Mark, myself, Christian Horner, our team principal, as well over the radio now as we wait for the camera to pan on the rest of the field. There we go. Now as we're ready to hit the grid now. As there's been some rumors circulating about Alex Albon and his future at Ferrari coming into this weekend. We'll have to pay attention in through the grid for some potential news on that for the 4th place starter. We're ready to go racing, however, it's lights out. And we're underway here from Albert Park. A poor start from the Frenchman, Circuit of the Americas winner of Pierre Gasly, a slipstream from Albon. And we've been turned into turn 1. Aiden Jackson has sent us into the gravel. We continue on, no damage somehow. I had no idea there was a car over there. I'm so sorry. We rejoin the track and we continue to slip and slide. We'll get another look at it here momentarily as the field continues on. Leclerc out in front of Felipe Drugovich, our teammate Alex Albon in 3rd. But obviously we were expecting to be slower than McLaren this weekend, and now we've just done even more damage to not only this race but to the championship situation on board with Aiden Jackson. I had no idea he was there. I mean, he got there fair and square, and clearly that was my fault. I mean, there's no drama to it. That was all me. There was no way that was on him, and if you watch it back on the proximity radar, like, there was maybe a very quick flash of red, but I just never noticed it. And I mean, a huge costly mistake from myself here. Now, as you can see, Drugovich, who started 2nd, now going to lose a position to Alex Albon, who moves through into that 2nd spot, as we were already fortunately by lap 4 running down the back of the pack. But obviously we're gonna just continue to maintain the the 1-stop strategy, not going for the 2-stop. We could maybe try a 2-stop considering the situation we find ourselves in, but we're just going to stick with that 1-stop here that the majority of the field is going to do. Unless you're on that soft tire, you will be doing a 2-stop strategy. Overall, I mean, just disappointed in myself as we're making some aggressive moves here. Lap 4, a big one up the inside of Lawson. Now Drugovich, smoke pouring out of the back, and that's going to be another mechanical failure for our Brazilian teammate. And that's what the 2nd in, I think, the last 3 races, but 3rd overall this season for Drugovich as we breeze past him. Is that something I need to be concerned about?
We'll keep you posted if so. Keep driving.
So we'll continue on. No safety car, no anything. So we are obviously going to need a safety car to get back in this race. Aiden Jackson around the outside now, lap 5 of Alex Albon. So Albon down to 3rd. Jackson to runner-up position, making it a McLaren 1-2. We're now the best running Red Bull Audi, and we're only P15. Obviously not ideal, and we've still got a lot of work to do here. As you can see now, some side-by-side action with myself and Piastri on towards turn number 1, lap 6. We'll go around the outside in T1. We'll take 14th place now, focus in on Mick Schumacher, who's having a solid run. Actually, I have a bit of a moment with him right there. He's on that soft tire, so we'll see how the two-stop works for him. But up to P13, now 14th, though, as we go around the outside. So we are slowly reeling everybody in, and we're still 3 seconds behind Marino Sato and 4.5 behind Jack Doohan there in P11. Charles Leclerc running away with the lead as usual. That's been the trend as of late, the last few races. And yeah, I mean, we're seeing it again here today in Melbourne. So it's all about, like I said, survival today and just get to next race where we're going to get that upgrade, two upgrades specifically from Audi for our Audi engine. But obviously, I wasn't anticipating, you know, self-inflicted damage there in turn 1, wrecking myself. But it is what it is. We're definitely, without a safety car, going to take a big hit in points today because I don't think a podium is going to be possible. Juri Vips now in on his soft compound tires, so that two-stop for him. He puts another set of softs on. As that was happening, I was now making a move to the left side of Marino Sato. We'll clear him at the apex, go around the outside into the top 10 with Vips heading into the pits. So now Jack Doohan, can we run him down? With Juri Vips pitting so early and going on to another set of softs, you can see he's 10.5 seconds behind me. He's probably going to be about second place or so, maybe even leading once everybody else in front of us, in front of him, makes their pit stop. So we'll have to wait and see how that cycles through here. But towards the tail end now of lap 11, we are running down Jack Doohan for that 9th place here. And we should be able to get him on the front straightaway. And here we go around the outside. Thank you very much. We'll take 9th place and focus in on now the main cars, the Mercedes, the Trackhouse cars of Oliver Behrman in P7, George Russell in 8th. Behrman having a great effort here as we continue to see Oliver Behrman really, I think, find his place as a rookie. Obviously, he's not been consistently anywhere close to as strong as Callie Mayer, but he's a rookie and he's only had a handful of races under his belt, so got to give him some time here as we continue to focus forward. Now lap 13 at this point. Into the pits comes Charles Leclerc, the leader, and actually I'm going to come in as well here at the end of lap 13. Jack Doohan is going to follow us, so we're going to come in, take the medium compound tire off, of course, throw the hard compound tire on, and that will be it. Easy peasy. Into the pits we go. Mediums off, hard Bridgestones on, and we are back on to the pit surface, and we'll get ready to get back on track here in about P12 or so, and clear around us. Nobody's coming at speed, so P12 is where we sit currently. A few cars yet to pit. Aiden Jackson's going to come in at the end of this lap, and you're going to see, watch the track map now as we come to this front straightaway. So Leclerc would cycle to the lead, Juri Vips to P2, Jackson 3rd, Albon continues in 4th place, and you got Pierre Gasly P5. Callie Mayer down to P9 through that all by staying out an extra lap now. So Oliver Behrman, her rookie teammate, able to get out in front of her. But we're reeling in this group of cars right now of Russell, Mayer, Behrman as well. So this is going to give us an opportunity to get back into the points properly. Maybe even a top 5 is on the cards today. Our worst finish this season has been 5th. Charles Leclerc has finished 1st or 2nd in every race except for one this season, and that was race 2. So that tells you, I mean, although we've had great consistency, his consistency has been out of this world. Problems for second place, Juri Vips, and Ferrari again. It never ends for Ferrari. A mechanical failure for Juri Vips, and we heard the drama, potential rumors about Albon and his future at the team, and now Juri Vips is done for the day, and he will tumble down the order out of the race. A second mechanical failure today. As that was happening, I was coming up on Callie Mayer and George Russell, who were engaged in a side-by-side fight here now, and they are going at it, and there's cars up in front of us as well, in front of them going at it. So we've got a whole pack of cars we're about to have an opportunity to fight with now. Right to the back of Mayer, we'll go to the left side. She runs us nearly into the barrier. We get a warning for exceeding limits now. Russell with no DRS, we're 3 wide on the run down towards turn 1. Mayer on the right, Russell in the middle. They both get caught up in each other. We breeze around the outside of both of them. A 2-for-1 special through turn 1. Now Oliver Behrman in our sights, Jamie Chadwick as well. A solid run for the Connor Sport driver, nearly into the back of Behrman. I missed my braking zone. Fortunately, we do avoid contact, but now we can focus in on these next 2 cars. They were side by side into the chicane. Behrman gets a position on Chadwick, and now a poor exit from Chadwick. Easy pass right here, that it will be on her. We'll clear her before we even hit the braking zone. So into P7, Oliver Behrman now is up next in that Trackhouse driver, or in that Trackhouse car, as now we're going to go after the Trackhouse driver here in that second DRS zone now, and we'll swing up the right side. We'll meet his front axle at the apex, pass him up into P6. P6. Lando Norris, P5. What a run again for the Lamborghini driver, as I heard that they as well might be subject to some silly season rumors here on the way momentarily that you're going to hear about here. But now looking for a move on Lando Norris. Of course, the IRL winner this past weekend from Miami will get the job done on him. P5, as we're going to go through the grid with 10 laps to go.
Charles Leclerc continues his recent dominance. He commands a 1-2 lead for McLaren with 10 laps to go.
Albon runs third, a solid run for him. Speaking of Albon, Ted, what can you tell us about some rumours to do with him this weekend?
I think this is more than just a rumour, guys. It seems almost certain that between today and Monza, Albon is going to leave Ferrari after just half a season together. He is fed up with them already and wants to exit.
Now, what would be the game plan for him for the rest of the year then, Ted?
Well, I saw him talking with Lamborghini representatives this weekend, actually. If you look at that team, Lando Norris has had a great year, running up in 6th right now, while Marino Sato has struggled to score points for the team. I think Albon could go there very soon and take a bit slower car, but more reliability.
All right, then, we will see what happens from here on out with Alex Albon and Ferrari. Liam Lawson runs 15th in the Andretti BMW, just in front of Zane Maloney and Mick Schumacher.
Disappointing year for Yuki Tsunoda, continues in 18th.
You heard the rumors there in Through the Grid. Alex Albon unhappy with the current situation at Ferrari. We'll wait and see what that means going into the final 6 rounds of the season. Does he stick it out? Does he leave? What if he does leave? What's going to happen with Ferrari? But through all of that, we got to P5, but you see the gap to 4th. Pierre Gasly is 9.3 seconds ahead with 9 laps to go. So obviously the only chance we have of catching him is gaining an average of 1 second a lap. Long story short, that's not going to happen. So yeah, I mean 5th, unless something happens, is as far as we're going to be able to go, and it all comes down to that lap 1 incident. I made the mistake. I crowded Jackson. Not a clue he was even there. Usually I'm really good at being aware, and I just had no idea he got there. Actually, a bit of passing here. Gasly moves into the podium position now. McLaren continues 1-2. Albon drops back down to 4th place, where we saw him earlier in the Grand Prix. The gap really wasn't changing much. I was keeping it around 9 seconds, but we, of course, had opened up a comfortable gap to Lando Norris behind, 6.5 ahead of him. Oliver Behrman not far behind. Norris only a few tenths of a second, so Behrman might even have a chance to get P6. But we come to 2 laps to go at this point here, and you can see the gap still about 8.4 seconds, so not gaining anywhere close to enough to what we need to be closing in. A yellow flag and actually turn 1, and that's George Russell who's gone around in these final 2 laps, and that might take points away unless he can get going quickly. Marino Sato in the Lamborghini going to come around, and now Sato is going to be able to score a point here, and he lost it all on his own in front of Oliver Behrman, and yeah, he just got done passing Behrman, and around he went. So we come to the final lap in Australia, and it just wasn't our day. The pace was good, and that's promising going into the next episode where we know we'll be getting upgrades, but obviously it doesn't matter. We didn't get a safety car. Safety cars have been pretty rare this season. Leclerc out of the final turn. It's going to be another win for the Monaco-based driver in Australia.
Let's f***ing go, guys. Another win. Thank you.
You hear Leclerc on the radio. Aiden Jackson brings it home for P2. Another McLaren 1-2. Gasly 3rd. Albon will come around in 4th. We round the penultimate turn, and now the final turn, and this is going to match our worst finish of the season, P5, and we cross the line in a bit of disappointment. Sorry guys, I don't know if we would have had anything still for McLaren, but definitely an easy podium that we just threw away there with my mistakes. So yeah, we'll have to move on and have one heck of a final 6 races. Sorry.
We've witnessed some great battles on the streets of Melbourne today then, and they've taken a fantastic win.
If my math serves me correctly, I think we're going to be 50 points behind that guy right there celebrating another win, Charles Leclerc. So 2 full races that we're going to have to find a way to make up. And we saw it last season. We're seeing it this season. McLaren is just, their reliability is on a different level. Toyota seems to have reliability completely figured out. And then as well, the power in their engine, they just have everything. Toyota has come into the sport with McLaren and has just turned that team into a beast. And you look at Connor Sport, and it hasn't quite translated there, as of course they are the sister team to McLaren, and they got the Toyota engine in their car, but it just, like I said, hasn't quite translated. They're not bad by any means, or, you know, a midfield team that can bring together some points here and there. And you saw one of their drivers, Jamie Chadwick, pick up driver of the day. And let's take a look here at the actual finishing order. Jamie Chadwick, driver of the day, actually still no points, P11. It was Marino Sato who picked up the final point. The two DNFs are at the bottom with Vips and Drugovich, and this allows Mercedes to gain more on us in the constructors as well. Don't forget, and we are 50 points back, sure enough. Jackson 32 back from Leclerc, and the 3-horse race continues, but it's quickly turning into a 2-car race and maybe a 1-driver runaway at this point. Next episode, Monza, upgrades from Audi. Let's see what we can do. We're going to go on a heck of a 6-race run, I hope. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day.